Cohort 10, Week 24, Day 1, Presentation 1, Unit 5. By the end of the day, you should be able to acquire the meaning and use of some vocabulary items relevant to safe circumstances at work. You should be able to scan and read a text about safety at work for detail and find some answers. You should be able to use the newly acquired vocabulary in sentence completion activities. As we always start our lessons, we have a safety talk. This week's safety talk is about distracted driving, cell phone use. Distracted driving, cell phone use, safety talk. Using cell phones or other devices while driving has proven to be deadly. Cell phone use during driving is very prevalent on our roads today. In fact, at any given time throughout the day, approximately 660,000 drivers are attempting to use their phones while behind the wheel of an automobile. Smartphones have made it easy for us to stay connected at all times. But that can pose serious safety risks if someone decides to check his or her text messages, emails, phone calls, or any other mobile applications while driving. So take care, it's okay to stay connected, but the cost shouldn't be your life, or other people's lives. We have a reading today, so before we read, let's just be introduced to some items of vocabulary. Please match a word to a picture. Which picture here is a clean workshop? Which picture is a dirty workshop? Excellent. Picture on the left is a clean workshop. The picture on the right is a dirty workshop. Which one is safe? Yes, the clean one, of course. Why? Because the dirty workshop might cause some diseases. Thank you so much. The second slide, match a word to a picture. Which workshop here is a tidy workshop? Which workshop here is an untidy workshop? Great. The one on the right is the tidy workshop. The one on the left is an untidy workshop. Again, which one is safe? Of course, the tidy workshop. Why? Because it prevents injuries. Now you have 4 pictures. Which one represents the word fall? Which one represents the word prevent? Which word represents the word tripping? Which picture represents the word slip? Okay. The second one on the left is prevent. The first one on the left is tripping. The last one on the right is fall. The second one from the right is slip. How can you prevent injuries like slips and falls in the workplace? Yes. Thank you so much. By following the rules and instructions of safety at the workplace and by wearing protective equipment, personal protective equipment. Let's move on. Okay, which picture here represents the verb put the tools away, and which picture here represents the verb leave the tools on the ground? Of course, this one represents leave the tools on the ground. This picture represents put the tools away. What should you do after you finish your work? Should you put the tools away or leave the tools on the ground? Of course, you know the answer. We should put the tools away to keep them safe and to keep people who are working in the workplace safe as well. Okay, which picture here represents the verb dispose of the litter? regularly, maybe every day. Which one represents true litter on the ground? Litter, of course, means garbage or rubbish. Okay, the one on the right means through litter on the ground, which is unsafe act, which is improper act, which is a bad action. The one on the left represents dispose of the litter regularly. What should you do after you finish your work at the workplace? Of course, you should dispose of the litter regularly. Which room here is a well-lit room? And which one is a dim room? Of course, the one on the right is a dim room. The one on the left is a well-lit room. Which one is safe and which one may cause injury? Excellent. The dim room may cause injury because people will not be able to see well, so they may hit something or they may be just slip on the ground if there is something that they hit or something like this. So we should keep the workplace dim or well lit. Oh, it should be well lit to avoid any injuries. Now we have the reading activity. Let's read this one. A clean workplace makes it a safe one for sure. In 2012, 3 million workplace injuries were reported by private industry workers. Injuries can be prevented by making the workplace clean and tidy. The first question, how many workplace injuries were reported in 2012? Okay, 3 million, thank you so much. How can we prevent these injuries? Excellent, by making the workplace clean and tidy. The second part of the reading, make sure the floor is clean, clear, and dry. A clean floor will not allow germs grow on it. This will prevent diseases. A clear floor will prevent tripping. In emergency, if the floor is not clear, many will not be able to leave. A dry floor prevents slipping. The first question, why do we have to clean the workplace floor? Okay, because yes, a dirty workplace will have germs on the surfaces. So cleaning will prevent diseases because it will not allow germs grow on the surfaces. Why do we have to dry the workplace floor after we clean it? Because a dry floor prevents slipping. Question number 3 on the same part. Why do we need clear floors in the workplace? Because a clear floor will prevent tripping, hitting the objects on the ground and tripping or falling. Okay, number 4. How does a busy floor, which is the opposite of a clear floor, affect emergency evacuation? If you need to evacuate the place quickly and there are items or devices on the floor, many will not be able to leave quickly. So you have to take care of this and make sure that the floor is always clear. It doesn't have any objects on it. The third part of the reading, dim light makes it difficult and unsafe for employees to complete their daily tasks. Well-lit stairways and aisles prevent accidents and keep the work environment safe. The first question, how does a dim workplace affect the productivity of the company? Of course, if the room is dim, employees will produce less. If it is well lit, they will see everything, so the productivity level will be higher. How do you think a dim workplace may affect the safety? If workers cannot see well, they may hit very serious and dangerous things and they may get injured. So you have to make sure that the workplace is well lit. Don't leave anything after you use it. Put it away where you found it. If you do this, you will always find it when you need it again. Cover machines so that they will not hurt others. First, a question about this part. What do you do with the tools after you finish working? Of course, you have to put them away. Put them back in the same place where you found them. Why? Because when you need them, you will find them there. And because if you leave them on the ground, this may cause injuries. What do you do with the machines after you finish working? Yes, very good. You should cover them. Why? To avoid any injuries, because uncovered machine or unguarded machine will cause injuries, of course. The last part of the reading, dispose of litter regularly. Litter can be recycled, and this will kill the germs and make the workplace clean and clear. What do you do with the rubbish after you finish working? Of course, you have to dispose of litter. Why? To keep the place clean and clear. After this reading, we have to answer these questions. Tell me, working in the dark is good for your eyes. Is this true or false? Of course, it's false. It's bad for your eyes. Why is cleaning the floor important? Because it protects you from the germs that might grow on the surface. And it, of course, protects from diseases. A clean floor will prevent germs from growing and will prevent diseases. What is wrong with this picture that you can see here? Yes, the worker didn't take the tools away and the floor is not clear. This, of course, may cause injuries. A floor should be clear, or what will happen if the floor is not clear? A lot of tripping will happen and many will not be able to leave in a case of emergency. Question number 5. If the floor is wet, you may slip or trip. If the floor is wet, of course, you slip. If there is something on the floor, you may slip or trip. You may trip, hit it. Throw space into the basket. Through the floor or the litter, of course, through litter. Okay, another activity here. We need to complete the sentences with the words in the books. Clean, clear, injury, trip, slip, unsafe, litter. Number 1, be careful, the floor is wet. You might space if you walk there. Of course, we know if the floor is wet, you might slip. 2, don't leave anything on the floor. Some might, if you leave objects on the floor, some might space over it and break an arm. We might trip over it, hit it. When you keep the machinery guarded, this will prevent what? Of course, it will prevent injuries. Throw space into the basket. You need to throw the litter. Working in space places will cause accidents. Working in unsafe places. Remember that unsafe is the opposite of safe. At the end of the day, you should finish your worksheets and your daily quiz regularly. Don't leave what you have to do today till tomorrow. Thank you so much. I hope that you have enjoyed the video and see you in the next video.